What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we get started, I just want to say thank God for another day and another opportunity. Now, as y'all can see from the looks of the title on the screen, today I got a very special build in store for y'all. The Catfish Diamond outside scorer. Now, this build is actually going to remind me of a few different NBA players like Brandon Ingram and Kevin Durant. So look, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Now, I would appreciate it if everybody went ahead and turned on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. Be sure to smash that like button and don't forget to comment down TG for thank God, as well as where you're tuning in from watching today. Now look, I just want to say again, thank y'all to everybody who did decide to click on today's video and support. Now on this build, you're pretty much able to do everything. On the offensive end, we get contact dunks and pro dribble moves, but on the defensive end, we're definitely going to be able to hold our own. So as you can see from the gameplay, we can pretty much do everything out of this build. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that we're making it out of the small forward position. Now you actually can make it out of the power forward. The build name will change to a stretch dimer, but I'm telling y'all, all of the stats as well as the attributes will be maintained the same. Now when it comes down to the actual body settings, this is the most important part about this build. So I'm going to go with the height of 6'11", 210 for my weight, 6'11" for also the wingspan, with the body shape of anything based to your own liking. I'm going to go with compact. And now when it comes down to the actual attributes, the first area that we're going to get into will be the physicals. So for the speed, I'm going to go 72, 76 acceleration. Our strength will go up later. I'm going to skip over it for now. The vertical will be a 75 with a 90 stamina. Now these numbers are adjustable. Remember, with the gym rat badge, our numbers are going to be 76 for the speed, 80 acceleration, then we get a 79 vertical with a 94 stamina. Now I think that's the perfect setup to go with when it comes down to these physicals. Let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the finishing. So when it comes down to the close shot, I'm going to go 64, 84 driving layup, 86 driving dunk, 61 standing, with an 87 post control. Now with these 18 badges, I think out of tier 1, we're looking super strong. Now the main badges that I'm looking at is going to be gold limitless takeoff. We also do get 5 Hall of Fame. Now I like silver slithery. And then we're also able to get Posterizer and Fearless Finisher out of tier 2 with Hall of Fame Back Down Punisher. Now I like the setup when it comes down to the finishing. We get all of the main badges out of tier 1 and tier 2. Now from here, I'm going to go ahead and get into the breakdown of the shooting. And remember, you can make your own adjustments as we go along. Now for the mid-range shot, I'm going to go 81, 92 3-pointer with a 77 free throw. Now with these 24 badges out of tier 1, I'm looking at Agent 3 on gold. Now we also do get Hall of Fame Midi Magician and then Amped. I like Space Creator. Then for tier 2, we're also able to get a good amount of badges here. And then for tier 3, I'm really happy that we're able to get gold limitless range. Now with these 24 badges, you can go about the setup however you'd like. I'm going to leave it like this, but from here, let's get into the breakdown of the playmaking. So we get 19 badges, and I'm going to go with the pass accuracy of an 86, 75 ball handle with a 67 speed with ball. Now with these 19 badges, I like out of tier 1 Client Breaker and then handles for days. Now for tier 2, we do get quick first step, and then also we do get vice grip on gold. And then I'm happy that out of tier 3, we're actually able to get unpluckable on gold as well. Now again, this is just my personal preference when it comes down to the setup of the badges as well as the attributes, so feel free to make your own adjustments and changes as we go into the making. But when it comes down to this defensive area, let's go ahead and get started. So we get 14 badges, and for the interior defense, I'm going to go 68. 76 for my perimeter, 41 steal, 75 block, 45 offensive rebound with an 80 defensive. Now with these badges, look, we're actually able to get challenger, glove, and interceptor still. Now from there, we do get silver box out beast and then gold chase down artist with bronze post lockdown. And then for tier 3, we're still able to get anchor as well as rebound chaser. Now just one small thing to take into consideration, you do get 4 extra badges from my career. And if you have grinded out each season, you do have the potential to add even more badges towards any area of this build. Now whether you would want to throw that into the defense or even the shooting and finishing, I'm telling y'all, I think the best area to put extra badges for this build would be the defensive end. Now when it comes down to the takeovers, look, we also do get the slashing, the shot creating, sharpshooting, and then we get the post scoring. So we pretty much get all of the main offensive takeovers, and I think that's honestly going to make this build even better. So the first one that I'm going to go with, I would really consider limitless range, or you can go with ankle breaking shots. Now for my best interest, just to be more of a threat from outside, I would go with limitless range. Now if you want to break ankles, I would definitely go with the shot creating. Now we do get contact dunks, so finishing moves is one that I would think about as well. But just to add more to our arsenal when it comes down to the offensive end, I would go with advanced post moves, and I really do think that these are going to be the best 2 takeovers to pick from. Now let's go ahead and check out the build name to make sure that we made it correctly. And if you did follow along, we should be getting these 3 comparisons. And as y'all can see together, we were actually able to create the catfish DIMING outside scorer. Now I'm telling y'all, this is one of the more better and well-rounded offensive builds that you're going to see. But if you did want to throw more into the defensive area, I can completely understand. Now I would leave it like this, exactly how I brought it to y'all. And just remember, you're able to buy boost and run with teammates that do have on floor general. So you have a lot of other things that you can take into consideration when it comes down to adding extra numbers on this build. I'm going to leave it exactly how I brought it to y'all today, and from here, we're going to go ahead and get into the breakdown of the badges. Now when it comes down to the finishing, as you can see for tier 1, I'm going to go with Bronze Giant Slayer. We're also able to get Silver Slithery, Pro Touch on Hall of Fame, and then Gold Limitless Takeoff. Now for tier 2, I use my core badge on Hall of Fame Back Down Punisher, and then the rest of the badges will be Silver Fearless Finisher as well as Posterizer. Now I think this is a perfect setup when it comes down to this area, especially when it comes down to the finishing. I think we have all of the main badges that we need equipped. Now when it comes down to the shooting for tier 1, I'm going to go with Agent 3 on Gold, Hall of Fame Amped, Midi Magician, Space Creator with Volume Shooter. Now for tier 2, I did decide to go with Green Machine on Gold, and then my core badge for tier 3 will be Gold Limitless Range. Now so far looking so good for the offensive end, I'm telling y'all, we have everything that we need to boost our shooting percentage as well as to get contact dunks. Now with the playmaking, we get Bronze Client Breaker, Handles for Days, and then Mismatch Expert. Now I did decide to throw on Floor General on Hall of Fame, but you definitely can change this badge if you wanted. Now for tier 2, I like Bronze Bailout, Silver Quick First Step, and then Gold Vice Grip. And then for tier 3, look, I use my core badge as Unpluckable, and I really think this is going to be the only badge that anybody should be considering. Now from here, when it comes down to the defensive end, I like Challenger, Glove, and Interceptor. Now for tier 2, we also do get Box Out Beast and Post Lockdown. And then for the final badge, I'm going to go ahead and put on Chase Down Artist on Gold. Now look, I do have a core badge available, so if you do decide to throw one extra badge into this area, we're going to be able to put on Anchor and actually use it as our core badge. So for now, you can go about this however you like. For example, for now, I'm going to go with Chase Down Artist. That opens up 5 more extra badge spots. So if you wanted, you can go with Silver Box Out Beast, go ahead and throw on Workhorse on Gold. And then for the final badge, I'm going to go with Ankle Braces on Bronze. Now this is pretty much what we're going to be looking like when it comes down to this build. We have everything that we need on the finishing end. Same thing can be said for the shooting. The playmaking is definitely there, and that we're going to be able to pretty much guard any build 1 through the 5, especially if you have a high IQ on the defensive end. Now here's a few different jump shots that we're actually able to pick from, just to give y'all an idea of what this build can actually do. But again, I just want to say thank you to everybody who did make it this far into the video. And look, I just want to say thank God for another day and another opportunity. And if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. And I'd appreciate it if y'all went ahead and smash that like button. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family. Thank you for 5,000 supporters. And with all that being said, man, be sure to comment down TG for thank God, as well as where you're tuning in from watching today. But with all that being said, man, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.